Hello, guys. Welcome to Rex Arthur TV. This is Rex Arthur Show, the LGBTQ channel that discusses LGBTQ issues with an LGBTQ perspective and a humanistic approach. And this is now part two of the mainstreaming LGBTQ plus or employing LGBTQ affirmative therapy. Now we paused at the point of I was discussing what I was doing with somebody and discussing, we're chatting with somebody who was saying that, you know what, you guys, how can you say you are a gay pastor? And I told him, yes, you can be a gay pastor. Reason being, the Bible was written before people knew sexual science. It's a fact. Now, what is knowing sexual science? And and where did this topic all come? I want us to go back to what we said in the last video before I deal with that thing of the Bible. Number one, this video is about mainstreaming LGBTQ persons. What is to mainstream? Is to put them in the mainstream world, you know, and out ones, not the closeted ones. You know, there are people who are in the mainstream world, they are working, but they are closeted. They are not out. And now the new movement that is happening in the LGBTQ movement is coming out. You know, I'm out. I'm homosexual. I'm gay. I'm lesbian. I'm bisexual. I'm transgender. I'm queer. I'm questioning. All of those, you come out. That's now what we're talking about. Mainstreaming the out people, the outed LGBTQ persons, mainstreaming them, making them part of mainstream society. So this is what this video is about. So it's either we are to mainstream LGBTQ persons, the outed ones, or we are to employ LGBTQ affirmative therapy, and that is to help homophobic people, especially those who are LGBTQ, though in my view it can also include straight people who are homophobic, and therefore make them allies and therefore be part of the LGBTQIAAP, or help homophobic homosexuals and lesbians to understand themselves so that they can be part of the society. But my point is mainly on the out system, because that's what has happened in the world. Most of the world has become, especially the Western world and now parts of Asia, with thanks to India, guys are coming out. And they're coming out. You can even, and Europe, look at Europe, there are very many out prime ministers, out presidents, out CEOs. America out. They're already out. And we're still going to do this, the roll call for the out countries, but not today. And so what is, whenever these people come out and they are CEOs and they are presidents and they are prime ministers and they are government officials and they are all of these things, very top positions in society, what is happening in that society is called mainstreaming. You are now mainstreaming the LGBTQ persons. They are now part of the system. And what is the system? The system has been dual. It is a dual system or heteronormative. But in my view, I would rather call it dual. But it is called the heteronormative system. That the world has been built, the infrastructure of the world systems has been heteronormative. What does that mean? It has been, but I prefer using dual than heteronormative. What I mean by dual is that you're either a man or a woman. You're either good or bad. You're either a capitalist or a communist. You're either this or that. There's no gray, there's no rainbow. So, what is happening now with the advancement of the LGBTQ movement? The LGBTQ movement has destroyed dualism, has destroyed heteronormativity, and now we have non-dualism. That is, there is no more than There's more, not two, it's more than two. And it has destroyed the heteronormative system, so that now you can have, instead of having a man and a woman in office, like what I've just seen in the news right now, Ethiopia, 50% of the cabinet has become, it's a female cabinet. Half of it is now female. And that has never happened in many African countries. And they've taken that step. So in Africa, they are still trying to deal with the LGBTQ issue, and they're still hiding. Most of them are closeted. So when you're in a closeted system, you still are in a dualistic system. And so, but the countries, the West and everything, they are non-dualistic. And that's what we are now saying. That's what we want to see happen all over the world, whereby we are mainstreamed. And I'm just giving you a summary of the first video. Now, and of course, then we also summarized and said, we also said in mainstreaming the society, in mainstreaming the LGBTQ persons, there is a problem because most people were raised dualistic. You were raised to believe that there was only a man and a woman sexually. The world was defined sexually by two, man or woman, full stop. There was no discussion of whether there's an intersex and everything. But because science has come, and that's science has come, now there's no more dualism, it's dead. And this is what I was telling this person who said you cannot be a gay pastor. I told him you can't be a gay pastor because the Bible was written before they understood sexual science. It's a fact. Had they understood sexual science, they would have not written what they have written. Now, when question is knowing sexual science meaning that homosexuality was not there? No, that's not what it doesn't mean. It doesn't mean that. It means knowledge, knowing sexual science. Homosexuals were there even before Moses' time. They were there. But what was not there was the understanding. Why are there homosexuals? Why do people behave like that? Guess what? They even didn't have the theology of the devil. Yes, they didn't know. So you never read, in fact, the theology of the devil or demon possession only came clearly in the time of King Saul, when King Saul was possessed by spirits. And they don't even say, they just say they were bad spirits that were disturbing him. And guess what? King Saul used to have that problem. He used to be filled with spirits. He was filled with the Holy Spirit until he became naked. And he was prophesying. He prophesied the whole night, naked. And then a few years now, when he became king, he had mental disturbances. So there's something people, psychologists of today and psychiatrists and all of these people who study the brain and neuroscientists should go and read that story of King Saul again and see, was he a schizophrenic? He could have been a schizophrenic because he was filled with the Holy Spirit. So what I'm trying to say is that in the Bible, if they had the theology of the devil at the time they made the law against gay people, they would have said demon possession. But there is no mention of demon possession at all in the whole law of Moses. When you commit a sin, you commit a sin. You can't blame it on a demon. But if there was demon possession at that time, they would say, oh, this person committed that crime because he had a demon. So what would they do? They would exorcise the demon so that the person does not do that thing. You see? So what am I trying to say? What you know about something affects how you solve it. It's like a car. When your car breaks down and you don't know how to fix your car, believe you me, you will not fix it. You will hire somebody, a mechanic, to come and fix the car because he has knowledge of what is wrong. You don't have the knowledge. So what happened in Israel and in most of the world, but in Israel, let's stick to Israel, homosexuals were there, but they didn't have the knowledge as to why people are homosexual. And they didn't like it. Whoever, because Moses, let's say Moses was gay. Who knows? Maybe he was gay and he just decided to hide it and say, let's make a law and hide what we are doing. Yes, we don't know. We don't know. People are just following Moses, they follow Jesus. They were not there. You were not there when they were there. So what? So please follow them with a pinch of salt. Don't just follow them with your whole life because you were not there. So anyway, the so homosexuals existed, but they didn't know what was what was homosexuality. Let's go to another topic. All of the human beings that existed during the time of Moses had DNA, genetics. But did they know DNA? They didn't know. They didn't know genetics. And what did they do? Moses said, life of the human being is in the blood. Why? Because when a human died, they noticed if you lose blood, you die. So their understanding, their primitive understanding was, aha, so when you lose blood, you die. Therefore, blood is life. I'm just trying to try and picture how they were thinking that time. And then that's how they wrote it. But nobody knew DNA. And they had DNA. That is what makes you up. It is DNA. And I've said in the other video, DNA is just a drug. Because a drug is a chemical substance. And DNA is a chemical substance. Acids. All of this is acids. All of these are acids. That's why when you pour acid on somebody, the immediate effect is the skin even changes color because acid has met acid and they don't agree. And we're still going to do studies, deeper studies about sperms and eggs because all of these are chemicals. Your sperms, your semen, they are chemicals. They are a mixture of chemicals. Even the egg is a mixture of chemicals. Blood is cells, which are chemicals. You see? Because blood is oxygen. It has oxygen and it makes hemoglobin. Oxygen is a chemical element. It's found on the periodic table. And the sperm meets an egg which has a lot of oxygen, which is from your mother. You see, it's beautiful. So the deeper we go to science, the more enjoyable it's becoming. So I told this person, these people wrote those laws when they didn't know the sexual science. Had they known it, they would have not written what they have written. Now, let's go back. Now we were going to, I was trying to retrace my steps where I left off. So I've already dealt with what I had left off with. I've explained the fact that people didn't know. That's why when you read the Bible, read it as if you're reading people. Oh, I've now remembered what I was going to say. As I said in the other video, that's why evolution is real. Or it's a tempting theory to believe in because the man of 1,000 years ago is not the man of today. It's a fact. First of all, the environment that man lived in is so different. Yeah? And of course, he may still have an eye, he may still have a nose, he may still have a mouth, he may still have a leg. But there are other aspects of him that are so different from you. That is what evolution is all about. And there are sub-evolutions that happen in humanity. Like the humans in these 4,000 years have existed. They are the same. Nothing has changed. The fingers are the same, everything. But there are sub evolutions. Sub. Small ones. Like one of the small ones is um, humans never used to brush their teeth. Do you know that? Brushing teeth is very recent. Getting Colgate. Oh, I'm going to buy Colgate. I mean, where was Colgate in the year 1600? Where was it? Even in Europe, where they make Colgate, you know, it wasn't there. So were those humans worse off? No, they were humans who don't use Colgate. And then today we have humans who use Colgate. And in the year 4000, there'll be humans using something else. And they'll even wonder, Colgate was a company? Oh, you see how beautiful life is? We are just in a conveyor belt of humanity. So there are some items, and especially the artificial aspect of humanity really changes very fast. And like now, it's in the 20th century, 21st century, that we are on Facebook. Nobody in the 20th century was on Facebook. There was no Facebook in 1996. So there was nobody on Facebook. Nobody on Facebook. But in the 21st century, and there are some people who have died in the 20th century, and they never ever thought there would be something called Facebook, and they died. They went. 21st century, Facebook has come, and you're using it. Have you seen? And the year before Facebook began, somebody died, and that person will that never know that there's something called Facebook, and has never entered it. So that's the beauty of life, is that humans, we change and we acquire, and then as the more time spreads on, the more humanity changes. So it's like it's always changing. Humanity is just changing and changing and changing and changing. So the humans of the year 3000 will not look like the humans of the year 1900 at all. Very different. What they wear, what they think. Now, science has even, not only, it has even hastened evolution, because we now have genetic engineering. We now have stem cell reproduction. We now have hormonal therapy. Yes. Do you know transgenders existed in the year 3000 BC? Yes. There were people who were naturally transsexual, but they had no idea of surgery. They had no idea of hormone therapy. They had none. And I wanted to do this video one time, that what's happening in Africa. Africa, you'll find some people who are actually LGBTQ in the colonial time. And they were there. King Mwanga of Buganda was a gay man. Yes. And that is before 1900, and before the whites came. The whites came and found a homosexual. They found him. It's not them who came. You know, people think that whites came and taught her. No, 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 no. Nope. They found him and they were shocked. They thought they ran away from Sodom, the so-called Sodom in Europe. They came to Africa and found it and collapsed, and even tried to remove him from his kingdom. And they stressed him. So, and that's just one story. That's just one of many stories in Africa. Because Africa is in Egypt. Egypt is in Africa, rather. And gay people were in Egypt. They even had their religion in Egypt, Africa. And Israel has a long history of homosexuals. Long. So long. And Israel is just a neighbor of Africa. It's just in Africa. There is no difference between Israel. Israel is on the same land plate with Egypt, which is Africa. So Israel is Africa. And they have a long history. Long. So can you imagine? So this belief that it came from Europe, no. And guess what? Even white people are a new race. They are not. They are just recent people. The fact is, genetic science has said that the first person was an African. The first man was an African. It was not a white person. It was not a Chinese. Genetics has proven it was a black man, not even African. Black man was the first man, or the first Homo sapiens was a black man, not a white man. So what does that mean? That if homosexuality was to start, it started in Africa and amongst black people, not even white people. White people are late comers in the race system. So you cannot say that, oh, homosexuality came from whites. No, it didn't. It is black. It's black because the first man was black, and therefore all the nations that the nations became less and less black as time went on. That's what I'm telling you. Please take a scope of time, and that as time goes on, the more time goes on, the more changes happen. Like genetic mutations, you know, a gene has a group, and in that group, it when the group keeps on, if the gene is very old, it has very many mutations. And the African gene, one of the genes that are very found in Africa is is the E group. Now it has so many mutations. It's even found in Arabs, and is found in black Africans, and is found in other Asians, and it's also found in white people, some white people. So what does that mean? Like Einstein was E, and Africans are E. Majority of black Africans are E, in group E. And Einstein, when you look at Einstein, is a white man, just a white guy. Of course, if you know genetics deeply, you will know Einstein. Yes, he has some black blood because of the color of many things in the body. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that we are acids, we are chemicals, and these chemicals go through changes. And that's why transgenders and all of these people, like especially transgenders, they want to have balance in their life. So you may look like a man, like I may have my beards and I really want to be. Look at Conchita Wurst. I mean, it's okay. That's what she wants to be. Very, very okay. And you see, where do you put Conchita? Do you call her a man or a woman? Because of the beards and then the long hair. You see? So people, even someone may even think, we may think very many things. So what I'm trying to say is that we are chemicals and we are always going through changes. And therefore, what am I trying to say to conclude? Dualism does not exist. It is an artificial construct. What exists is sexual diversity. That is what exists. And that is what we are saying. The world, when we define the world sexually, it is not sexually dual. The world is sexually diverse. And it is LGBTQIAAP. And that's why we're talking about mainstreaming that community. What is to mainstream? To make it now public that you are a lesbian who is in office and a CEO and people respect you. You are gay and you are head of the police department and people respect you. You see, the battle we are having is with dualists, people who are insisting that you're only a man or a woman, full stop. Yeah. No, it's not like that. We are diverse. And it should be that there's a gay man who heads a company and nobody complains. Yes, that's what we are talking about, mainstreaming. And as we're going to end this video, we're going to give you the consequences of mainstreaming and what it means also to the LGBT community, because it means a lot. First of all, most of the LGBT, have you noticed something? Even LGBT people should not underestimate being in the closet and coming out. It's a very big thing. It changes your life, because imagine when you were closeted, you were in the closet, nobody knew you were gay. Even when somebody asks you, are you gay? You say no. You see? You say no, but you are gay. Then, all of a sudden, you come out of the closet. Now, what does that mean? When somebody asks you, are you gay? You say, yes, I'm gay. You see how it causes some confusion to the person who asked you many years ago. He said, but I asked you that question and you told me you're not gay. Now, what has happened? He said, now I've come out of the closet. I was hiding. I was lying. You see, that's what has happened. That coming out is just revealing the truth, who you are. And it has an effect on your life, because now you will not live your life like someone who is hiding. You live your life out. And sometimes it's very hard, especially when you're out and in a homophobic society. They can really make you, they can discriminate against you. Some people even met violence against you, because you've come out. Yes, it happened in Uganda. David Kato came out. He was a gay activist. And when he came out, he went on American TV and told them that he's standing for gay rights. And so what was the price he had to pay? When he had liaisons, he had to be careful, because you may have a liaison with somebody who has been sent to kill you. You see? Because you've come out as gay and they don't want you to come out as gay. Because you must understand, homophobia is not just in straight people. You can be straight and not homophobic. Homophobia is even found in gay people. Yes. And that's why, even in the gay world, you must know that there are internal conflicts, and one of them is between the closeted and the out. Those who are out and those who are closeted, they have their internal conflicts, which should be solved. Because I believe, and this is my understanding about being in a community, when you are in, I am a believer of Ubuntu, principle of unity, singularity. I am a believer of singularity. And what I mean by that is that we are one. Whether you're gay or straight, we are one. And if we have conflicts, because of my Ubuntu philosophy, we sit down and talk. And we sort it out until we agree. Even if we agree that we will not agree on certain things, that, like, I like color yellow and then you like color blue. And when we discuss, and I realize that after 2 days you cannot like color yellow and I cannot like color blue, then we'll agree that continue with your blue, I continue with my yellow. That is Ubuntu. Whereby even if we are different in tastes, we go on anyhow. We do not let our differences cause us to kill each other or to fight each other. That is how it is. That is the Ubuntu principle of unity, singularity. And I use it, like in the groups I'm in, I tell them, we are a team. When you see your team player not doing well, please wake them, help them out. Don't judge and say, oh, you are the one who caused this. This blame games happen because people are not working as a team. Yes, you should be a team, and a team is like a partnership. See, be a team, so that when something affects the team, it affects you also. When the team does well, you also do well. I mean, look at football. How many, soccer rather? 11 players. 11. Do you know those are more than two? It's a marriage, it's a partnership. You're together, you're a team. And everybody has his role. So you play your role. And sometimes one time the one player may not play the role very well and it causes the team to lose. Do you know who loses? Do they say that because this defender caused this loss, he is the one who lost, but the rest of the team didn't lose? Nope. The whole team loses. It's that simple. Why? You're one unit. You play as one unit. So, what I'm trying to say is when it comes to internal conflicts, I don't spend time in my videos talking about the internal conflicts in the LGBT community. No, 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 no. I don't have time because when you spend time on the divisions, you can collapse the community. We are one. As long as you're LGBTQQQ, double Q I double A P, we are one. Especially the job right now for the LGBTQ, which we're now going to the second part of the video. That's the LGBTQ affirmative therapy, is to help homophobes, I mean straight people, so sorry. I also have to deal with that not every straight person is a homophobe. So that's why I had to say sorry about that. Straight people who are not allies, you make them allies. And it's not making them allies, you give them knowledge that homosexuals exist. And one of the ways of giving them knowledge, give them pornography, gay porn. Yes, give him porn. He will see. And if he understands sex, then he will know, okay, ah, these guys are like this. Yeah. Because you see, if you don't understand heterosexual sex, how will you even understand homosexual sex? If you don't understand heterosexual sex, how will you understand homosexual sex? You have to understand. It's a process. Because if an erection happens, huh? If you are an erection happens when you are a man loving a man, then you are homosexual. It's simple. So when you watch gay porn, let me ask those people who have never watched it or who have watched it. Have you ever seen a limp penis doing work in gay porn? That it enters. It can't. So what does that mean? That erection that has happened is real. It's real. The person is really homosexual and has penetrated the anus of the partner. Is real. So that's how you'd help straight people who don't understand gay people. Give them gay porn. And if they understand straight sex, they'll become allies. And they'll even apologize for attacking gay people. Yeah. And now, that's the LGBTQ affirmative therapy. That's one way you can do it. Now, what about another way? Another way of doing it to help the straight people who are not allies, in my view, education system. What's happening in Netherlands is perfect. Teach children sexual diversity, not sexual duality. Sexual duality has caused a lot of problems. It's the reason why people are not understanding LGBTQ persons. It's because they are stuck to sexual duality. And sexual duality has caused confusion, and not only to the straight people, but also gay people. Because gay people, especially if you're in a religious setup, you are thoroughly drummed into sexual duality. Adam and Eve, You know, God didn't create Adam and Steve, He created Adam and Eve. You see, that is sexual duality, and it is heterosexual sexual duality. Because if you really go through to attack these people who say God created Adam and Eve, did Adam, uh, what was the genetic makeup of Adam? Was he an XY? Because Adam, there was no mother. And for a mother, for you to have a mother, you must have X chromosome. And who was his father? Because for you to be a man, you have to have a Y chromosome from a man and an X chromosome from a woman. Now, what was the sex of Adam? What was the sex of Adam? Do you know whether Adam really had sex with Eve? You see, people are so shallow. They just accept anything. They hear a story. Oh, this happened. Were you there? You were not there. So, take it with a pinch of salt. Don't, and focus on science. Focus on science. So this is why I'm saying, to help children, don't give them religion. Give them science at the beginning. If you want to give them religion, but with science, so that they can now, you build the child's head. He's now beginning to think. Because as I've told you, religion is not fighting science, by the way, for your information. Wake up and smell the coffee. Religion is looking for science. Science is truth. It's just that it doesn't know how to look for it. Religion is looking for truth. And I was telling somebody today about justice and the judges. You know, the reason why people don't understand courts is they don't understand law. They don't understand law. A judge can never judge a case based on your feelings, on what you feel. I feel this person is bad, so he should be jailed. Then the judge just says, yes, your feelings are very important. I'm doing that. I'm writing the judgment. Let him go. Judges base their decisions on evidence. Evidence. Irrespective of who. That's why I know Kavanaugh's case went so crazy, but I liked what Susan Collins said. She could not judge him. She didn't even know what happened. And it's not that she's attacking Ford, and it's not that she's calling Ford a liar. No, it's not that. It's just that when it comes to judging somebody, you need evidence. You need evidence. It's simple. It's not being that if you support Kavanaugh or if you let Kavanaugh free, you hate women. No. Please. Even I'm very happy to Susan. Imagine if it was a man to make up his mind. The whole world would have just said men are against women. When it's not that. It's just evidence. That's how courts deal their things. So when you don't have evidence, how will I say that this person did it? I will be lying. And imagine some people, you have to sentence them to death. So imagine someone dies on your watch and it was a lie. And you had time. That's why judges only convict people when the evidence is so strong. When the evidence is strong, they will convict you. When the evidence is weak, even if you may have done it, yes, even if you'll be set free. Not because you didn't do it. It's the evidence. The judge is making the decision. He was not there. Please, don't put burdens on judges. Don't put at all. They were not there. They want to know what happened. And the only way you can do it is by giving them evidence. So, that's why I've said, when you teach children science. Even if you have to teach them religion, you must teach science first, because religion looks for science. Science does not look for religion, because if religion was looking for science, if religion was looking for science, then I mean, if science was looking for religion, then science would have closed shop long time ago. It would have closed shop long time ago. In what way? Science would just say God is the one who created the world. And that's done. Yes, it's done. Scientists will sleep, they would be not working. But scientists work because their pursuit is truth. To know, why does this thing happen? Why does this man have this on his right cheek? That's a scientist. He's always curious, wants to know, wants to know, wants to know. And he will do all the calculations until he finds out what it is. And that's what Jesus said. You shall know the truth, and the truth will make you free. That's what people are supposed to do. They are supposed to look for the truth so that they are free. Because if you don't know the truth, you will not be free. You see, if I don't know why this is here, I will never explain it to somebody. I will never explain to somebody. And somebody will ask me, you know, children have that habit. They ask you, oh, what is this here? And you don't know. Yes, sincerely, you may not know. And you're an adult. And you don't know. So what's going to happen? The child will also not know. He'll also be ignorant like you, because you were supposed to give him knowledge. That's why we have this channel. This channel is out there to give knowledge to the world. Yes. It's to give knowledge, it's to give people understanding, and it's to express yourselves. Yes, express yourself on an issue. But it's rather you express yourself on scientific issues and where science supports you than on issues that there is no need of science. You see? That's why when we are having this LGBTQ channel, if you notice, most of the videos we deal with, we are stressing on the science of everything. It's just that we're not bringing it out. If I was staying on the science, I'm just a talkative person by nature. But if I was basing it on science, everything, this video just takes 6 minutes and it's done. Yes, people, but you see, it depends when you have time to talk to people. Like I have that habit, and it's when I'm free. So today I'm a bit free, so I can talk. And that's how philosophers used to behave. Um, in the Bible, it says that the people of Athens, their job was just to talk and listen the whole day. That's all they used to do. Why? Well, one reason I think it is because they already finished the world. The world they lived in, they already conquered it. They understood it. But remember, I'm not so free. Like right now, the video is ending. It's because I have some other things to do. Yes. Why? Because I want to get to know more and more. The more you know, the more you can come back and give to people. And that's what we've been doing. So let's conclude this video. It was basically talking about mainstreaming LGBTQ, the LGBTQ movement. And what we have said is, number one, let the out people come out. Then hire them. Hire them. Yes. Especially in political positions and big business positions. Hire them. Let people know this man is a trans man. And he's clever, passed his examinations, did this, and is working. That is how people will learn that these people are important. That's what Africa did for albinos. Africa did for women. like what is happening in Ethiopia. You see, give women a chance, give it to them 50% cabinet position, even putting a woman in the Ministry of Defense. Yes, put them. Why? We are no longer in a dualistic world. Even if I was a president in African country and somebody tells me I'm gay and someone tells me I'm transgender, put them, give them a position. Let the world see. Yes, this one has called himself transgender. Yes, we're giving them a job. That's the way to test, to see how people will, can people work with a transgender? Can people work with a gay person? Can someone work with a bisexual? Open out, not closeted. You know, majority of the people in homophobic countries, they are just in the closet. Meaning, when you're in the closet, you have surrendered to dualism. When you're out, you have come into the sexual diversity spectrum. And that's how it should be. So, as we conclude, it is time now. I wanted to focus on the last part of the videos, the consequences. First of all, it is a change that the LGBTQ persons, especially in closeted countries, have to accept has happened. Now you're out. Now you have to know how to live your life as an out person, and you have to learn how to walk well. You have to learn how to carry yourself in a society that may not like you or may not understand you. So those are the changes the LGBT community has to face. It has to prepare itself for that. You see, look at America. The moment Obama, or not necessarily Obama, but the Supreme Court legalized gay marriage, that's when many celebrities came out. You know, we got to know Don Lemon, we got to know Anderson Cooper. All of these guys, they came out, and what was the consequences? Some of them, their love lives even became public. People got to know, oh my goodness, that's the partner of Anderson Cooper. Ah, interesting. Like that. Yes. So those are the price you pay. That's the price you pay when you've come out. People will get to know whom you're sleeping with, who is, and then they can, and then, it makes the people very curious because you're out. It's out, and it's good. It's to mainstream it because even straight people have mainstreamed. I mean, Bill Clinton, his whole affair with Monica Lewinsky was known the whole world. Can you imagine? Yes, that is the price of being out. That's the price heterosexuals pay. They have been paying it for thousands of years because it's normal. It has been called normal, but homosexuality is also normal, only that it has been closeted. And now that it's coming out of the closet, there will be a bit of conflict in the minds of very many people who don't like it. But as time goes on, homosexuality will be so normal, so normal, nobody will even be disturbing people that, oh, I had sex with a man. Oh, okay, yeah, you just go on. We know that's who you are. Yeah, that's how it should be. And that's what I'm saying, mainstreaming. And then the other price of mainstreaming is they'll be trying to, there's a way, like look at gay marriage. There is no gay marriage in America that is 10 years old. So what does that mean? We cannot make a survey or a study, a very firm study about how far 10 years have passed. What is the shape of a gay family? What is the shape of a gay couple that has lived after the Supreme Court's legalization of gay marriage? What is the picture? That's what the studies social scientists are going to do in the year 2020, 25, 26. They're going to do it, and they'll just say, oh, okay, this is so in gay marriages, okay, this is what happens after 10 years. Is it that gay couples stay longer? Of course, we know homosexual couples tend to stay together because of the what do you call it? They are more, they are the same. So is it meaning that when you are with someone who has the same feelings and the same traits, you tend to stay together? It could mean that homogeneity rather than heterogeneity. And it can mean a lot of things. It's, social science is very, very interesting science to look at. So that's what's happening. So everything is being mainstreamed. You see the cake case, the master baker, whatever masterpiece, and the whatever masterpiece baker shop, the bakery. What does that mean? It means that that case, and it went to the Supreme Court. It's because the LGBTQ community is now out. It has been mainstreamed. That's what has happened. And by that happening, if there was no legalization of gay marriage, believe you me, that case would not have happened. Masterpiece Baker wouldn't have happened. But it has happened because the LGBTQ community is now mainstream. You turn on the TV, you see a gay presenter. Yes. You see it and you say, yeah, that's good. And you turn on the TV and you see a transgender who is a senior government official, and you say, yes, this is good. And as years go on, 100 years will pass, believe you me, they will be, even these transphobic attacks, killings, they will disappear. They're going. Yes, they are going. They will diminish gradually. Why? Because as the time is going on, and the space is, you see, that's the importance of legalizing and decriminalizing homosexuality. It kills homophobia. Because when the state sides with its citizens who have been oppressed, when the state sides with them, it makes their life very smooth. If the state doesn't side with you, it makes your life miserable. And not your life, even the life of that country. This is what happened to Hitler and Nazi Germany. The state decided to, it was state sponsored racism, state sponsored homophobia in Nazi Germany. So, what was the effect of it? People died. The state killed people, their own people, homosexuals and Jews, German Jews. Yes, and I'm very happy. It's sad they died, but what I'm happy about is that those Jews, they said that's home. There are some Jews who said, I know Germany as my home. My ancestors have lived here for years. Where am I going? And what is my crime? Being a Jew. You see? The mistake of Nazi Germany was to make an identity a crime, a biological identity. That, why are you arresting me? Do you remember the Nigerian video of the one where they arrested the gay people? And the gay man said, did you catch me in the act? He asked them, and nobody answered him. And then, if I was him, I'd even ask them, why are you arresting me? What is the crime? Are you arresting me because I'm gay? You see, it's ridiculous. Even in criminal law, that is not a it's not a definition of a crime. Your identity is not a definition of a crime. You need to understand law. Law has no identity crime. No crime because of who you are. That because you're a woman, you're a criminal. Or because you're a man, you're a criminal. If you read criminal law, that's not how it is written. Criminal law writes that a person who does A, B, C, D, it's what you do. It's not who you are. that criminalizes you. It is the act, it's not what you do. I mean, it's not who you are, it's the act. Now, a homosexual is a homosexual. That's who he is. But it doesn't mean that he's having sex now. Like now I'm gay. Am I having sex, physical sex? Am I showing you whatever? Am I entering? Am I showing you what I'm doing now with someone? No, I'm not. So, but does that mean now I'm not gay? No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean I'm not. It just means that I I'm not doing, I'm doing something else right now, and that's making a video. But it doesn't mean I am, it doesn't mean I am not homosexual, because a homosexual is a person who has sex with the fellow sex. That's it. And you haven't seen it. So in criminal law, the law is written about what was done, but not who you are. But the mistake Nazi Germany made was they arrested people and they put people in concentration camps because of who they were. Identity crime. That you're a criminal because you're a Jew. Whether you do good or bad or whatever, we don't care. Whether you are an engineer or whatever, we don't care. You are a Jew. Criminal. We're taking you in. You're gay. Criminal. We're taking you in. That was the mistake of Nazi Germany. And it should not be repeated, and it's not being repeated by any country. Germany has changed. Yes. Now they don't arrest gays. I was happy to see Angela Merkel with Benjamin Netanyahu, and she assured him they are still and will continue fighting anti-Semitism in Germany. Yes, simple. And this is what countries are supposed to do when it comes to homophobia and homosexuality. Decriminalize homosexuality, and then slowly people will accept and understand that homosexuals are just human beings like everybody else. That's what we mean by mainstreaming. And then the affirmative therapy is to help homosexuals and lesbians be happy with who they are. They should know that they are not bad people. That's what you see. The whole, oh, I can talk. And you see, I'm not talking nonsense. It's just, it's too much. It's too much to talk about. Yes, because most LGBTQ persons, they just think they are bad. And it's not their thought. It has been fed into them. And that's what you try to tell them. No, it's not that you're bad. It's just that that's who you are, and that's what your body desires to do. That's what makes your body happy. Yes. And that's how we always tell our, and that's why we have this channel. It is there to encourage LGBTQ persons to continue living your life. Of course, there are very many challenges, and I want to talk about this, the challenges LGBTQ persons face. This is very common in Hijra, India. In India, the Hijras, they are known to be people of misfortune. Yes, and but what people need to understand about the Hijra system in India, the reason why they are people of sin, of people of misfortune, is because the society, the structure, the infrastructure of the society can make a Hijra look like a person of misfortune, because they are ridiculed, and they step on them and they say, ah, you guys, you're so dirty, because sex, you see, the way you view sex as a community, there's the individual view of sex, and there's the communal view of sex. If the community views sex as dirty, then people who engage in sex will be seen as dirty. You see, that's what happens. But if you're in a community that sees sex as a good thing and nothing wrong with it, then you, when you say, oh, I just had sex with someone, oh wow, I'm sure you had a fine time, and yeah, it was good. You see, that is because the society you're in views sex in a good light. But the ones that don't, can you open your mouth and say, oh, I had sex? They say, you're very bad, very dirty person, why are you even telling us such a thing, you know? Have you seen that's the reason why in countries the LGBT communities are closeted? Is because they live in homophobic societies. They live in societies where people don't encourage them. Yeah, they don't encourage them. They are not proud. I remember my friend was telling me of a Facebook post where they asked people a question and said, whom do you prefer? A homosexual son or a son who is a thug, criminal thug? Majority of the people voted for the thug. Sounds familiar? Yeah, it sounds like what happened to Jesus. You know, they picked the thug instead of Jesus. And but you know why they picked the thug in the story of Jesus? Before we go to the one on Facebook, it was because the leaders didn't like Jesus. So they told the people, don't pick don't pick Jesus. Pick that one because that man is bad. And see, people, they go by what leaders say. So they did the leaders' bidding. But now the Facebook post, it is based on how people view homosexuals. So it was a very good Facebook post because it made people aware that people tend to be homophobic, openly homophobic. And that's what we need to fight and to deal with. And we can only do it through mainstreaming the LGBT community, like allowing the LGBTQ persons who are out to be out. Yes, let them run, let them be known, you know, interview them, let people talk about them. And then also give LGBTQ affirmative therapy to LGBTQ persons. And in my view, straight people, what you do is not necessarily give them therapy, but straight people who don't understand gay people, give them education. Teach them about gay people, that homosexuality is real. Pornography. Yeah. Just have one time a class. I mean, have a chapter. You know, look at the biology textbooks of Africa and other countries. Do they even have a chapter on homosexuality and transgenderism? No, they should. They should. That's how to make the world progressive. You know, they fear that if you teach them, they will do it. You know, there's a very funny logic in Africa that Africans are naughty people. And it's not true. Let me tell you, even if you find an African or a person who tries gay sex, if he's not gay, he will not continue in it. He will just try it once and go. Those are curious people. They just want to know how it is. And they go. But the gay people are the ones who are continually engaging in gay sex. Those are gay people. Let them be. And that is how I know it's going to happen. Africa will be progressive because science is what is leading the whole world to make these decisions. People, if you have a religious mind view that the Western countries are passing gay laws because of ABCD, they want to do that, then you're lost. You don't know. Those laws are being passed based on science, and the science is getting better and better and better. A judge who is dim will say no to gay people, but a judge who has read and is studying will say yes, because the science is enough, and all a judge needs is evidence, nothing else. Okay guys, see you later. Thank you for joining me in this long but important video. We're gonna keep on studying and keep on looking and keep on knowing. Read the science. Even if you're a religious person, don't say that because I'm religious, I will not touch a science textbook. Read it. Even if you're religious, you'll be shocked. You will learn a lot.